I was skeptical about this one. I mean, I've seen my fair share of submersible motors over the years, and most of them either sound like a jet engine or burn out after a season. But this Goulds M30432? It quietly changed my mind. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I first ran into this motor when I was troubleshooting an old irrigation well that kept tripping the breaker. The pump itself was shot, but the motor looked like it had another decade in it. I swapped in the Goulds 3 HP 3-phase unit just to see if it would play nice with the existing wiring. Took about 20 minutes to bolt it on, primed the line, and fired it up. No smoke, no sparking, just a smooth hum and steady pressure at the sprinklers. That's when I knew this wasn't your average off-the-shelf motor. Let's talk size first. It's a true 4-inch frame, so it slides right into standard 4-inch well casings without any wrestling. I've got a couple of wells that are just barely big enough for a 4-inch pump, and this one fit like it was custom-made. No forcing, no shaving down the casing, just drop it in and you're done. Power-wise, it's a solid 3 HP at 230 volts 3-phase. I've got it running a 1.5-inch column in a 60-foot well, and it still pulls water fast enough to keep the pressure tank cycling normally. I've used it on a 10-acre center pivot too, and it handled the load without bogging down during peak heat. 3-phase power is great because you don't get the voltage drop you see with single-phase motors, especially on long runs. If you're on a 3-phase service, this motor is a perfect match. Durability is where it really stands out. The housing is cast iron, not some flimsy aluminum shell you see on cheaper models. I've got one that's been in a sandy well for 2 years now with zero corrosion on the shaft or housing. The seal's still tight, and the windings look like they were dipped yesterday. Goulds has been making these for decades, so they know how to build for real-world conditions. Installation is straightforward if you've ever wired a motor before. The wiring diagram is printed right on the label, and the terminal box is roomy enough to work in without feeling cramped. I like that the leads are already color-coded, so you don't have to guess which wire goes where. If you're not comfortable wiring a 3-phase motor, bring in an electrician, but the manual walks you through it step by step. Noise level is another win. I've got this one sitting about 20 feet from my shop door, and you can barely hear it over the compressor. That's a big deal if your well is close to living space or a workshop. The balanced rotor and sealed bearings keep vibration to a minimum, so it's not shaking the whole setup apart either. I've also used it as a temporary replacement on a rental property while waiting for a new pump to arrive. It's not meant to be a permanent fix, but it held up for 3 months of daily use without complaint. That kind of temporary reliability is hard to find in budget motors. Now, let's be real, nothing's perfect. The weight is noticeable. At around 60 pounds, it's not something you're going to carry up a ladder by yourself unless you've got a helper. Make sure you've got a decent hoist or a strong back before you start lowering it into the well. Also, 3-phase power isn't everywhere. If you're on a single-phase service, you'll need a phase converter, which adds cost and complexity. Check your service before you buy. On the flip side, the warranty is solid. Goulds backs it with a 2-year limited warranty, which is longer than most competitors. I've had to use it once for a warranty claim, and the process was painless, just a quick call to their support line and a replacement motor showed up within a week. If you're in the market for a reliable 4-inch submersible motor that won't quit, this Goulds M30432 is worth the investment. It's built to last, installs cleanly, and runs quietly even under load. Whether you're replacing an old motor or building a new well system, this one delivers consistent performance without the drama. You can find the full specs and current pricing down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.